Yeah, so before I get into the video today, I did recently sign up to Get It, so for those that are on the website, link will be down below, as well as the links for this channel on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. I may actually put all of those in the intro of the videos from now on, so if it does get on anyone's nerves, do feel free to tell me. So let's do some UK news for once. I know most of my audience is from the UK, at least I think so the last time I checked, and I've neglected English news for a while, mainly because Boris really works on my damn nerves. At least with the US, it's quite decentralized, at least on face value, because we all know the marionette is not the one in charge of bloody well anything, not even his own bowel movements if the calf with the Pope was anything to go by. But with Boris, it's just this cratering shit show of, Boris, what on earth are you doing, you idiot? I don't know if it's because he was always this much of a two-faced git, because someone has some major dirt on him, that's probably the most likely, or because Carrie has his bollocks in a vice, but my lord Boris, blink twice if you're in trouble or something, but anyway. So the COVID pass scheme will be scrapped this month over in England, seeing as the Omi wave has continued to collapse. Hey, well, this is why you listen to South African doctors, because apparently my country's personnel is smarter than everyone else's, because they're just burned itself out in like 4 weeks. Happy as Larry, everyone just carried on. And you know what kind of says something about the set of stones possessed by my countrymen, while a fair few of the first world nations are still in uber Karen mode, Canada, spasming themselves into some kind of tizzy. But Javid came out and was said to tell MPs that he shared their instinctive discomfort at the certificates, which 100 Tories voted against. May I just say, I despise when members of government do this. How stupid do you think the English are? Everyone knows, if it wasn't for those 100 Tories who voted against this, you wouldn't have said or done a damn thing different. This has nothing to do with scientific evidence, because everyone knows the state hasn't ever looked at any credible scientific evidence for the last 2 fucking years. Everyone knows, were not for the Tory rebellion, the instinctive discomfort you claim to have would have dissipated into the ether at the drop of a damn top hat. So please, spare us this pathetic rhetoric. This is just you trying to save face for political credibility. This really does piss me off, this kind of guff, because it's not just the people in the machinery, it's the nature of the machine itself. Jive and Javid hasn't exactly been a great improvement over the previous bellend England called the health secretary. You shafted a Hancock and you were handed a dickhead. But apparently, despite the 109,000 or so new positive tests on Thursday, Britain's COVID cases have fallen week on week for the past 8 days in a row, and hospital admissions have flatlined. But Jive and Javid hailed the encouraging signs, yet warned the hospitals remained under significant pressure. How? If hospital admissions are flatlining, please explain to me, how are they under significant pressure? From what? Lack of funds, excessive hospital bed use, lack of staff because the last 2 years you idiots running the NHS into the netherworld decided you were only going to focus on this one thing and put every other ailment, which was far more deadly, on the back burner to push this draconian state overreaching crap? Do please be more specific. This is why people don't trust politicians, and increasingly less so the media. That being said, I am still going to trust the media over the politicians on this one, because the flatlining cases does seem to be an emulation of a trend going on worldwide. But there is something I want to point out, and I want someone to explain this to me. If we pause for a moment and look back at the last 2 years, we were told to hunker down, do all the preventative measures thing, which in hindsight wasn't all that wise. Can't believe that was unnoticeable. But all to protect the healthcare services, right? That is what we were all told to do. Now, the needle of doom, or the NOD as I will call it from now on, was also brought in to aid in the mitigation of the healthcare sector from being overwhelmed. Now, does it not strike anyone as really unusual that no one, at least that I have seen in the corporate news anywhere, because of the high rates of people who took the NOD, cites the effectiveness of the NOD as the reason for the hospitalization rates not going up? Does no one else find it odd that no one is touting the NOD as a win in this regard? Is it maybe because it has nothing to do with the NOD? Maybe, just maybe, it's because of natural evolution that the latest wave is damn weak, and so happens to be, naturally, something our bodies can fend off because our defense systems aren't in fact made of freaking candy floss and pudding. And because it makes very little sense, you had Lord Frost resign over this nonsense, saying the measures thus far have proven ineffective. Oof, go on, Lord Frost, tell us how you really feel. Now, the Times have said they aren't renewing it. I don't believe they aren't keeping the infrastructure for this kind of BS somewhere on the back burner, spending probably hundreds of millions of pounds to get it up and running. I highly doubt they're just going to drop it. But they have been under pressure to follow the CDC guidelines from the Yanks by dropping the quarantine down from 10 days to 5. It's almost like they're coordinated. And like the Americans, they have admitted it's welcome news to get the economy back up and running. Yes, the ones which politicians willfully ruined while completely ignoring repeatedly their own rules, what a surprise, by listening to a bunch of card-carrying communists. Now these same politicians want people to bend down and kiss their feet, as if they are the benevolent forces of freedom. Try bending over and kissing our collective asses, you shameless bunch of pricks. But Matthew Taylor, chief executive of the NHS Confederation, said this is a pragmatic move which leaders will welcome if it can mean more health and care workers who are well enough can return to the front line, providing it does not significantly add to the risk of the virus spreading. Didn't these same bunch of schmucks mandate the stupid NOD for the healthcare workers, which we now know does not stop the spread, now are flooding the places with illegal immigrants to fill the gaps of healthcare workers walking off the scene? And secondly, are these people doing anything different to stop the spread when the new variant isn't doing jack shit to add to the case totals? No. So, in the grand scheme of things, what the hell was the point of all of this exactly? Now, I suspect there are a fair few people, much like myself, who will look at the data, look at the actual science, look at the timing of all of this, and arrive at the logically consistent conclusion that there is very little, if any, actual science data driving this decision. When you see things like foreign pressure to follow suit or Boris's own damn scandals, there's definitely more of a political bent in this decision than anything else at play here. God bless politicians and their stupid foot-in-mouth and head-in-ass behavior. That and camera phones who catch them, rather helpful. Because bonkers old Boris last year attended a bring-your-own-booze party at his residence with a dozen of staff members, which was held during a time where the pubs, the schools, pretty much the whole place was shut down lock and stock, the excuse old Boris presented to a packed House of Commons was believed implicitly that this was a work event, which was justifiably, I might add, met with roars of jeers and laughter. Yes, Boris, I'm quite sure to you lot, getting drunk at work is the level of seriousness a sizable chunk of the Tory prats has treated the pandemic. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I think if you told the public that many of those involved in the decision-making process in the last 2 years were sloshed to the hills, I think that very well might be the first time in the history of our species you will find the vast majority actually believe any politician is for once telling the truth. And I'm sure in the midst of all of this, the recent poll showing that 2/3 of the country want Boris to get the sack, I'm sure that has absolutely nothing to do with the recent decision to drop the measures at all. Far as the Tories go, they are like any other politicians. They want to remain in power. And galvanizing behind a leader the vast majority of the country, it seems, wants to oust, it is going to naturally spur a bit of a mutiny. So let's see how long Boris will still last. And that's all for today. Until next time.